Yes, I believe we're live on YouTube, so welcome to all our YouTube viewers. Glad you made it. Good afternoon to you, and hope you're having a wonderful weekend. So in just about a minute, we'll start. Let's get everybody in, and then in a minute, we'll go. Good afternoon, traders. Let's start. So two announcements, well, one announcement at least before I start. One is I will be on holiday from Tuesday onwards until September. I can't promise if I can manage to do all the weekly outlooks for you guys, but if I do get access to good internet, I will do it. So that means from now on until September, there will be a new link for every week, depending on whether I get access to internet, good access to internet, and whether I have the available time to do that, right? If I do, I would do the weekly outlook for you guys. If not, I would post on my Facebook page whether it's going to be this week or not, right? So for every week from now until September, it's going to be a per week link, a single link per week, and I would update on my Facebook page. So please follow me on my Facebook page, ProWave page, you know it, you should know it by now. You can share that page so people can follow there to get access as to when it's going to be done. I will try to give a couple days notice in advance. Not exactly holiday for 4 months, but I'll be out of Dubai for 4 months. And I'll be mostly in New York. I'm not sure, some in California and maybe some other places. So I'll be traveling and working, right? But that means I'm not sure whether I'll have access specifically on a Sunday for that. But for my normal daily webinar, I will be doing that for my traders, right? So I hope you understand. I will try to do it. I'll try my best to do it. You know, I always do that. I'll try my best to be there for you guys and do it for you, right? So I hope to see all of you. Stay put until September. We're going to have some nice things happening in September. And we're going to have some changes in September. So there'll be some nice things happening when I come back. So let's go. Let's start. Dollar index. Still up and still consolidating. We're still in this big consolidation that we're not quite sure this is actually going to be an uptrend as yet. We still don't know what the bigger daily picture is telling us in terms of this piece as yet. We're still within this, if you look at it this way, as a correction. 1 second, let me just grab my drawing tool. There's nowhere I can pause this, so I'll have to do that very fast. Okay, I should have it now. Yep, good, great. So we're still within this whole piece here. And it's not clear whether we're looking at an expanding flat to go up or whether we're looking at a bigger correction here to go down. That is not clear as yet because of this specific pattern that could have been making here or that might be making. It's unclear, but for us, it doesn't matter because we're trading this up. If you remember, we're trading up and we're still going up. So there's still a lot of upside we're looking at. I think potentially we could get a very, very big move to the upside. So you're going up, look for more upside. I think this week we look for more upside, which means after any consolidation, you buy. There was a pullback, you buy. There's some small pullback here. I think we should get another smaller pullback maybe. There's a good chance you could get a pullback here, but then you're going to get more upside. Right? So any pullback, you have to be careful. You want to get out of the trades you're in, or move your stops, and then you want to look for continuation pattern. So euro, I think we'll be looking for more downside. Definitely. I could see a possibility of some correction here in the euro. Last week, remember, that was your good sell setup if you were paying attention. This could probably do something like this, but then we're going to see a drop. So I could see a possibility for a correction here and then a drop. I'm not sure you want to take that bias yet. It might be a too early risk into the buy, but the sell, if you get the sell setup, would be a good one. All right, so first you look for a little upside here, and then the drop. On the pound has been going pretty interesting. It's going pretty sharp, as you can see, and they're consolidating at the lowest point here. The consolidation is going like this, and when they consolidate like this, they tend to make an up move before you go down. All right, everybody else can hear me? If there is sunk, can somebody tell Ibrahim that it's his side is not getting sunk? Okay, so and Ibrahim, if you want sunk, you probably type to everybody. He's typing to a panelist. That is why I saw the question. So let's go. Watch this piece here. There's a good chance this might start to give you a little consolidation up before they go down. Not a very big one, but you could get a little one. I do think it's going to continue to go down. If we get a turn on the 1 hour, which is why you see I have this line at the top, I wouldn't be interested in buying it until, well, now you can actually do this, until we break out of this, make a flag, and then start going up. Only above here, I'll be looking for any buy setup. Under that, you're looking for sell, 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 sell until it turns, because it could continue to do this for a long time. So you could have a lot of sells still going on for a very long time before you even get a buy setup. Aussie making an attempt to turn. I don't think we might get a turn. I think we got this. If you remember, if you bought that, you got a good trade, came back. You may get another buy setup here, at least at this level. Take that trade, and when it comes there, move your stops. Because two things you'll be looking for. Are we going to break out to the upside or just a deeper correction and continuation? It looks more like a deeper correction now. Because of that move down there, it looks like even if we come here, we might just do this and downside. So you might get a deeper correction here. I don't think, if they don't break out this week, we're going to get corrections here, and that means we're going to get more downside in Aussie. Right? It will be a bigger down move rather than an up move. Very, very likely by Monday, you should get an upside. There is something forming here that may give you an up trade. Look for at least one impulse up and see what happens when it comes there. Because if they start to go back down, that means you're going to come back here and go down. It's going to be more of a corrective pattern. If they break out, well, you stay with that trade. But there is an up trade first before you go down. New Zealand, very similar structure. It's making an attempt to break out of this pattern. And these patterns, they do break out, right? Remember, they drop, drop, drop. Last week, we spoke about that. You will drop and break the low. They broke the low, they turn. Same here. We still need to see whether they're going to come back here. But New Zealand, it doesn't matter what happens. There are two options. One is this comes break the top, or it comes here and then go back down. But they will come back to about this area. So you can look for upside in the New Zealand. There's a good chance there's going to be a big up trade in New Zealand next week, even if the pound, euro, and Aussie corrects to the upside. So you could get corrections of pound, euro, and Aussie going up, which is shorter corrections, and you may get a bigger trade to the upside on the New Zealand. So if there's a buy setup on any one of them, I would be focusing on the New Zealand pair. Right? Because the New Zealand upside is potentially bigger than the rest of them. And you can see they're about to start that buy setup there already. You're about to get the buy, so you may want to, focus on this. If they break out, it could be a big buy setup. So if it turns out that it's a buy, that all of them are turning to the upside and you're getting setups that can buy, then go for the New Zealand rather than the rest. You can take all of them, but you may want to go for the one that has a potentially bigger trade. If they're all a sell, any one of them is good. I like the pound more, but any one of them is good. This is only one direction, even if it corrects. Right now it's correcting, and I think they could correct a bit more. I could expect them to make more correction here. But it's upside. So you just got to keep buying it all the time. If you remember last week, we were somewhere here or somewhere here, you should be buying. And I hope you bought and you make a lot of money. We have traders who have about 10 or 15 trades on this thing going up from the bottom here. I saw an account that one of our trader has about 10 trades in this thing going up here, and they're all profitable. He's really hammering into this thing, right? So every time there is a correction, he buys. And every time there's this correction in the chart, he takes a trade and it goes well in his direction. Well, I don't think any one of you should be surprised about that. It's not like, hey, this guy just, oh, it's at the top here, so suddenly he's saying we should buy, right? It's not like you just woke up and I'm telling you you should buy it, right? Remember, we were doing that from the bottom here. We were insisting you do that from here. Go back, look at the webinars. We told you it's going to happen. So if you were paying attention, you would do what he was doing and you would make money, right? Actually, he's making a lot of money. I don't even want to tell you because it's going to be unbelievable. You wouldn't even want to believe it. His first trade is at the bottom here. I'll tell you one trade he has. I hope he's not angry with me. His first trade is from the bottom here. From that breakout there, 20 standard lots. That's his first trade. So you can calculate. That's his first. He's trading a big account, of course. 20 standard lots from the bottom there. Right? That was his first trade. That profit is already in the 6 digits. You think paying me $2,005 for the course was worth it? Make your choice. Right? Even if he just took that one trade, and that's not the only trade he has, right? It's the confidence you get when you do this over and over and you learn it, right? So, and it's not like, again, it's not like we just start telling you about it, right? You didn't wake up just now and say, hey, it's at the top here, you should be buying. When it was at the bottom here, 1, 2, 3, those 3 bottoms, we were insisting that you should be buying, right? I couldn't have insisted more that you should start looking to buy the yen because it's going to go up. So where is the yen right now? Right? I actually have a snapshot of it, but I can't show you guys. It's private, right? I actually sent me a snapshot of it, so but I can't show you, of course. So look at this. We've got that. Now there's a possibility that this sharp move could be some kind of a pattern here and they may go down back. That is what we are aware of. That's what we know. That possibility exists. So you can start protecting your trade. It's not that it will happen because we do have a correction here. And if that is a correction, then this thing is going to go straight out of there. And if this thing goes to the top here, I'm almost guaranteeing you he's going to be in that trade. Right? At least the one at the bottom here will still be there. Right? So let's see. Watch it, right? You start moving your stops tighter now because, or you start actually manage your trades. Look for that turning point. Decide whether it's a correction or turning. If you understand all of that in structure and you just see that it's a correction, you don't worry about it. You saw that it's turning, then you get out of the trade and you actually, you look for a different setup for the sell actually. But I think I'm almost confident they're going to break out. So let's see. So far it's going so good. And, I expect a correction here. I'm expecting them to make some corrections there. And then if they do that, we'll all be in that trade again. That means we'll be adding more trades to what you already have. If you don't have any, you'll be taking a trade. If they start breaking this structure to the downside, well, we will exit the trade. There'll be enough time to do that. You'll have about a week to do that. To exit your trades and then actually start taking new trades to the downside, right? That is not happening as yet. Swiss is at the top, it's consolidating. And this may be helpful to us, right? When you see the Swiss consolidating like this, you're thinking, well, okay, this should go up. So that might be helpful that yen might also go up, right? So they're consolidating and they'll probably be here for a longer while consolidating. So do you want to sell in the consolidation? I don't think it's a good idea because they're not going very deep in the consolidation. They're actually going very short. You can sell. Actually, there was a sell setup here. You can see that. There was a sell setup here. You can see that. You can sell it. You just have to take profit. And the sells are very, very small, which means this thing might go back up here. You might get another sell. It might go back. You could get another sell. I hope this is what they do. Because if they do that, then we will be buying to the upside, right? There will be a lot of buy. So for now, you just stay out of this and wait to see what it's going to do, right? You don't have anything here right now. If they're going to make a deeper pullback, let's make an assumption that they want to drop deeper before they go back up. Then you wait for a correction here and you sell this, right? If it doesn't stop here, if it doesn't go back from there and it starts to fall from here, well, you sell. Because that will be a sign that they're going for a deeper correction, right? CAD. came down as we spoke. It went up back, and I think you can get one little piece more to the upside here. There's a good chance you might get this, but then you're actually going to get this. You guys are not supposed to see this. This was for my traders, but it's a bonus for you. This is a pattern that is fall, right? You can see that. That is an impulse. You get one, you get two, you get three. They come, they break the top, and then it falls. Actually, that is taken from the chart, right? Not supposed to be for you guys, but I'll just leave it there. That is for my traders. That is a buy if you were taking the buy. We didn't take the buy because I didn't think it was going to go very far. I didn't think it was going to go right now. So we didn't work on taking that buy, but it's a possible buy. You might still get another little buy here. I would not take it, and I don't think you should be wasting your time on that, but watch for this trade. Right? You've got an impulse, you've got a correction. If they break the top, that'd be a really good trade together, right? So the sell might be the better trade. If you want to take the buy, you might get about 40 to 50 pips. That's about it, right? You can take it. They're consolidating. I expect them to break the top before they fall. They don't have to break the top before they fall, right? But we are always expecting them to break that top before they fall. Now, would it be this fall? Not necessary. They can actually break the top. They can stay here for a while. They can go back up. They could stay here for a while. They could go back up, and then they'll fall. Very often, they just fall. I'm not anticipating a very big correction at the top there, right? Silver is not going anywhere. So right now we're looking at this possibility that they're just consolidating here somewhere. I think we'll probably see something like this. We might see a retest. I think we will see the play of this piece back here, right? Kind of like they made 1, 2, 3. You'll probably do something like that, and then you'll do one more here and then go. That's a possibility, not necessary, but there isn't much possibility of how this thing could develop, right? It doesn't have a lot of ways it could develop right now. So I think that's the only way we're looking for. If you get a buy setup here, take it to the top there, put it to break even, because there's a chance they could take off. We have 1, 2, 3 here, and that might be enough for them to take off, but it's going very slow, which is not good, right? So, or just stay out of it while you're in this structure there between those two lines, stay out of it until we get a very clear sense of direction where it's going to go. Gold, downside, that was down, gold was down, and I think gold may be turning now because this is no longer an impulse to the downside. This whole thing is no longer an impulsive. We're expecting it to go impulsively down once more. But I do think we're going to get an upside. I think we're going to see gold actually retest the top, because this now looks like more of a bigger consolidation here. Now the question is it going to go from here to retest the top, or is it going to make like one more low and then go? Because if you notice, this had like a 1, 2, 3. So that's the only question. Are we going to make more consolidation before we go, or are we going to go? Well, you don't have to know the answer to that. That's the good thing about it. Take all the buy setups you get. So you're getting a buy setup here. If you get a flag here, take that trade. If they drop without making a flag, they break the low again, look for a buy setup. It could come, break the low once more, but then you look for a buy setup here. Right? Keep looking for the trades that are going to go in the direction you look for the bigger direction it's going to go. So I think we're about to see a turn and go to the upside. Euro Aus, it's going down, but I think more of a consolidation here. They did drop from that last week, so you look for this. I think we're going to get more drops to the downside, but they'll just consolidate here first. Right? So two things you're expecting when they come to the trend line. We spoke about that, right? They're either going to go back one more up or they're going to break through. Well, you can see that I took off that one because we're not expecting the upside. We're expecting more of a downside here, but first the consolidation. So short term, I think this one should probably come back up here, make a good corrective structure, then expect the drop. So short term, you're in that consolidation before you drop. EUR and New Zealand, pretty much the same thing, break the top and then turn, which is what they did, right? Expected, nothing new, right? We told you, watch this, is gonna go break the top, turn. They turn to the downside, you're getting this correction here. They drop, wait for another correction, sell, right? Just wait for another correction and sell. We're still in a big corrective structure. That has not changed, right? You got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. So more like this now. There is a chance that they could be doing this again, something like this. go back one more up, and then downside, right? So there's a chance that you could get a bigger correction in here, but look for sell opportunities every time you get one, right? So look for a sell opportunity, move your stops, take profit. If they start to repeat this up and down here, right? Up, down, up again, which means they're going to make one more up, look for sells again. You will get out of the sell and you look for sells again. So it's going good so far. If you get a flag, sell it. EuroCAD broke out. We broke the daily trend line, and that is a good sign. Remember I told you we want to see they're going to break out. They broke out. That's a good sign because now after a breakout of the daily trend line, you want to see consolidation. And that's exactly what they're doing. You want to see a 4-hour consolidation under that line. And if you get a 4-hour consolidation here like this, you're totally selling, right? So if you get a 4-hour consolidation under this line, which is what they're doing right now, that'd be good, right? So right now we were going to expect this to come back here, go back up, maybe come back, go back, make a pattern here that we know. And then we would be looking for sell setups. So you don't need to buy or sell it now, allow it to consolidate, and then you look for the trade. Euro yen just bouncing up sideways. It's not doing anything we expected to do. I thought this one would go back all the way to the top here and then fall. They stop, they pull back, they stop, they probably pull back, they'll still go there. I still think they will get there, but they're going to go there with a big consolidation here now, right? So that could change while we look at the structure because I wasn't expecting them to consolidate here. Any consolidation in here will change how we look at the structure. So for now, we're still looking at this structure and wait to see what is going to happen. But because they're consolidating there, like I said, that could change the structure. Short term, you might be looking at a sell setup here. This could be very short because likelihood they're going to go back up, right? If they drop, you're lucky. So you can take the trade. If you get a sell setup, take the trade, put it to break even and see what happens, right? The best thing to do is not to trade in there because you don't have any idea what they're going to do now, right? You have to wait, right? So if you don't know what they're going to do when they're doing this, you wait until they set up, you wait until the pattern is completed, and then you start trading it. Euro Chief. This turned out to be an amazing sell. I thought it was going to be a small sell. I told my traders, you may want to take it down to about this level and, move it to break even. And if you did, you actually got a good trade. Now, what we are going to expect is that this is a sharp move and that cannot be all the correction. So at some point here, you're going to expect this to come back here and then go down. Right? So expect this to come back here. I don't think it would be a very good buy setup for you, but once they go to the top there and they start to fall, you can sell again. Right? We can sell it again. Once they pull back and start to fall, we can sell again. Europa, it's still in the middle of the consolidation, right? So maybe just stay out of it. Right? You see, they make this, they come there, they do this, they come there, they do that, they come here, they do this, they come here. I can see the possibility of this developing here now, something like this. Here developing, they can probably do this, go to the top, and then we'll probably get a fall. So stay out of it. It's not going to go anywhere. If you get one setup on the 60 minutes, take that 60 minute, take that 60-minute trade and take your profit and get out of it, right? So watch this trade here. It's kind of like, it's going to consolidate some more before it goes, but it's not giving you very good trades. Pangos, we had two potential last week. One is that they could have gone up back to the top, make a new high. Second is they start breaking that structure. We got the second option. They're breaking the structure. That is good. That's actually very good news. Because what you want to see after that is you want to see them consolidate in here. You really want to see that consolidation. So you've got to move up and move down, move up and move down, move up. Let them go back up like this and then start to drop. That would confirm for us downside totally. And if you get a confirmation of the downside on this one, you're going to expect them to go really, really big. Because the next big drop should be something like this. Right, so that should be a big drop. Let's go back into the 1 hour and look at where we want to see that consolidation. We're in here, and I think they're going to go back up. Be careful of this drop here. I think this will go back up somewhere here. Right, we're going to expect something like this, and then downside. Right, So watch for the upside and then watch for the downside. The buy for the upside might not be a bad idea. You notice I have that line there. So if you get a buy set up here, that might not be a bad idea. Now, can this actually drop through the low and go down? They can. It's not a classical pattern that we see. I still think I'm hoping that they go back up before they come. If they start dropping, you will have to use an entry order, which means you'll have to be selling under this line here. Or you will have to let it drop, wait for a pullback on a 60 minutes flag, and then sell it. But potentially, when I see patterns like these, when I see this here, I know what the internals are. I tend to see them go back here and then go down. So this would be my first option. Let them go back up and then go down, right? Not necessary, but we're always aware. It's always good to know what are the chances, right? Right? What are the chances of that trade behaving a certain way? Now, in terms of putting an entry order here, I don't advise you just put an entry order and leave it there, right? You have to know when to put an entry order, when you want to manage that trade. If the trade doesn't go the way you expect it to go, what do you do with it, right? Trading is more about just putting an entry order. You have to manage the trade. You have to put good risk in it. You have to know where you're going to put your stop in that trade, where you will exit the trade if it doesn't go your way, right? So all of that is involved in trading. Pound New Zealand, downside. We spoke about this going down. We told you it's going to go down, and it's going down, right? So now where are we going to expect it to go? I still have the line there. And I think last week I actually really spent a lot of time stressing that even though this is going up, it does not change the bigger structure. You still expect this to come here. Now, we've got a very deep consolidation here, and they're going down now, right? So when you get a deep consolidation like that for a drop, there's a good chance that, this comes, break this low here, and just maybe make one more up before they come. So you would take the sell, you would watch it when it breaks the low, you will start managing the trade, see if they look like they're turning, move your stop. If they don't look like they're turning, just stay with the trade until it gets there. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3, or we're going to get 1, 2 to the top here, 3, and then upside. Right? So there is a downside, and it's still there, and I still think you look for sell setups in the 1 hour. Which means if you get a flag, you sell it, right? If they make a flag here now, they broke that structure, they make a flag, you sell it, right? That's it. The New Zealand chart, we look at that. Let's finish the webinar. I'll take a look at it. I'm not sure what you say. We'll take a look at it. The expanding ending diagonal. I will check it. See, New Zealand, the pound Swiss, sorry. Pound Swiss is downside. I think the only thing we were worried about was whether they're going to repeat what happened here. I was a little worried that they would repeat this piece here. See, when they came down, they went back, came down, went back, came down. At this point here, there was that chance that they were starting to look like that, but then they broke out. And that's good. We're expecting this to go more. Now, if you remember, we've been showing you this trend, we've been tracking them for a long while, and I've been telling you to keep your eyes on these things. Even if they make a new high, it does not change the bigger structure. The bigger structure eventually comes here, right? I think we told you that. We told you that from this piece here. We were expecting that to go. They made a high. We expect this to come. They made a new high. We expect this to come. They're eventually going to get there, right? Sometimes they take a little longer than you expect, and then you get that surprise. Sometimes they take a little longer than you expect, and you get that trade. Sometimes they take a little longer than you expect here, like this one, for example. It took a little longer than you expected here, but then you get that trade. See? So they're taking a little longer than I expected, but we're going to get that trade. And I'm in the sell. So I'm going to get it, right? So we're in that sell. Watch it. It's going good. What you got to do is you got to start looking for sell setups. Now, there isn't any sell setup in it now, not in the 4 hour, not in the 1 hour. You have to wait for it to pull back. You would have to wait. They actually broke out. I hope you're selling. If you were selling, you were selling from there. You were selling from the top. You were selling from here. You were selling from there. You're selling from there. You're selling from there. You can wait for this to sell. Right? Wait for a correction and then sell. Nothing else to do. Don't try to buy it. Even if it's going to make an up move as a correction, don't try to buy it. It's confirming the downside for us now. That drop really confirmed a lot, right? Because if you're looking at this piece here, let me just show you that. If I can put the chart so you guys can see. Yeah, right. If you let me see, I can squeeze it so you can see it. Right, just look at this piece. See, when they started to do this, they drop and they start to make that curve, they make a new high. You can see it from previous one. Once this was starting to curve here, there was a chance they could have done that. But now they drop off of that bottom. So that pattern is no longer valid. Right? So look for sell setups. Peng Yen. Peng Yen is doing very good for you. I don't think they'll get to the top. We were looking to see whether Peng Yen is going to climb and break that top again. I don't think we will get that. You can already look at the structure and you can see that, okay, this will not get back to that top. So you will have to look for this to break through. And this one could likely happen this week, right? So this one is likely going to fall through the bottom. You want to focus on that. This would have to be a Peng trade, right? So what could give you this down move here very sharp? What could give you that down move is if the Peng falls and the yen corrects downwards. So if you get a downward correction in the yen and you get a drop in the Peng, this would be a very good trade. Focus on it, right? So you want to focus on this one. It looks very good for a sell setup. Go to the 1 hour. You might get an earlier sell setup if you're little, aggressive in trading. Wait for this, sell this to this level, put it to break even and see if it breaks. Why you want to do that? Because they could go back up and then come. When I show you a pattern like this, they could still make one more up on this pattern and then come down. So what you'll find some traders are going to do, they're going to jump into a sell right now, and then they're going to put a stop here, and then they get stopped out on that trade and fall in this. I don't know what this guy was saying that this thing is going to go down, right? I took the trade and I took a loss in that trade, man. But you're telling me it's going to go down. Well, what I'm showing you, you have to pay attention to the time frames I'm showing you. Let me go back and show you that. I'm telling you that this pattern here will go down. It's based on this structure. And that means you can come here, you can go back up, you can come here, you can go back up, you can come here, you can go back up, you can be doing this, but you're going to go down. That does not change the structure I'm showing you. Now, this is where structure trading gets difficult, right? If it was that easy, all of you would be pretty much, you wouldn't need me. Here's where it gets difficult. You have to understand where you are on this piece and when this piece is completing itself, right? So what I tell you to do is what I tell my traders. We sold it there. Now, how can we sell there and you can't sell there? Well, because we understand what the structure is likely going to do. And I'm telling you, we might get another sell here. But we would be aware that it could start to do that. And if it starts to do that, guess what? We're selling the top again. See? Now, can we buy this if we get a buy setup? Maybe. Maybe not. But I'm looking at that structure and I said, right now it could fall or it could actually go one more then fall. If you ask me, I think one more is the highest. For me, personally, I think that one more up before they fall is likely. Right? Because of the sharp waves, because of how we look at structure, how we understand it, what structure we're looking at, how is this structure developing, what stage it's in, what pattern it's making. Can that pattern be something else, right? So all of that taken into consideration is what you're doing when you're trading. Funkan. Good for us, it's consolidating. We broke the daily. You notice all the Peng trades, we were telling you about them a long time ago, that they're all going to break out, right? That line is not there by accident, right? You remember when this one was going down, I told you, we needed to go and break the top because it's not completing the pattern. We needed to break the top, complete the pattern, then come back down. Well, they did that. They went a little higher than I expected. I thought they'll just break the top by 20, 30 pips and turn. They didn't. They went a little higher. But they turned. Now you needed to break out of this structure, which it did. So it's consolidated there. It's consolidating here. When they consolidate here, you're going to get a very nice trade to the downside. And they are consolidating right now. Right? And that is Chris made a very good comment there. If all of you can see it, it's only to panelists. If you guys could make your comments to panelists and attendees, it would be good for everybody, right? Then everybody sees it. He says he's waiting for a bigger correction, but it keeps going. And that is the problem with these trades. If you don't try to get in early in these trades, you end up not getting them because they move very, very fast after that, right? So there were early entries there. There were a lot of early entries, and there's still a possible good entry coming here now for you. Because if you look at this, we're kind of making a big consolidation here, right? We made a move up, a move down, a move up. And if they start breaking here, you sell. If they go back up again, you sell on the top because they're consolidating now. And this one would give you a very, very big drop. So what could cause all these pound trades to drop? If all of them look pound Swiss, pound yen, pound CAD, they all look like they're going to give you a drop. They have something in common, right? Pay attention. Because when they start to drop, you're going to miss it. First, they're going to go up. First, they're all going to go up, including the pound. They're going to create that emotional feeling that, okay, it's going up. Well, why would they go up before they fall? They will find that point at which they need to find enough orders to fall, to drop it. At what point they would like to drop it. That's what they're going to do. First, you take it up and then you drop it, right? Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss in a sideways move right now. It's not going up. It's not coming down. It's just going sideways. If you look at this, literally, it's going sideways. And that sideways move should actually go down, right? They should go down, but because it's consolidating much more than we expect, from the break of that top, we were expecting it to go down. But it starts to consolidate more. So if they consolidate more, we'll have to relook at the structure when we have enough parts. There isn't enough parts in there to do that. Look for one more up. I think there is going to be, because when they consolidate that much, it's upside. It's probably going to be a running flat or something like that. So if you get a sell set up here, and you're likely going to get a sell set up here, when they break this low or break this low, take profit and wait. Wait to see whether you're going to get the upside or they're going to continue to go. If this is the top, we'll continue to go. I don't like that deep pullback. That's my problem. When you get that deep pullback, it's a sign they're changing the structure. You're looking at a more complex pattern. And I think we're looking at a more complex pattern right now. So for those of you who are not very confident and don't know, stay out of that trade. Aussie CAD, we wanted them to go back up, break the top, come down. I told you we were going to wait for a big correction, and then we will all be selling it. So we expect them to come break that top and then start to go down. And that's exactly what they did, right? They went, they broke the top. I actually thought they'll make it more complex because it was during the news. I thought they'll come back here, go there, and then come. Right? And they just used the news event, broke the top, and now we're looking downside. So if you were buying in this, you better be careful. You got out of the trade. If you didn't buy, no big deal. Look for the sell setup now. We're getting that bigger daily correction we want. I think that's a very good size correction. We can go with that. Right? We want this correction up here, and then we want the fall. So that's a big correction. If they decide to go down now, would be a good reason to start selling it. So look for a sell setup. Let's see. Do we have a sell setup here? Might be forming right now. You might be getting one form. You want it to come back here. You want this to come down a bit more. You want it to make a flag here. And then you look for a sell. Right? Wait for the flag and then sell it to this level, and then sell it to break, and then sell it to break, and then sell it to keep going more. Right? Wait for that confirmation. Can they make one more up? Remember, we're looking for daily correction. Can they repeat this here? Like probably do this, do this, do this, and then go. What if you sell and they start to do it like that? Hey, just get out of the trade and then decide if you want to buy and then sell again. Right? If they repeat the same thing, when you sell, get out of the trade, decide if you want to buy, then sell again. Because eventually this is going to give you a very, very sharp drop on the daily. I'm on the 1 hour right now. So it's a good sell. Wait for that setup. Aussie New Zealand coming down. Aussie New Zealand is in a big B wave correction right now. So we are expecting some correction here. I think that's normal. It might go lower. You can wait for pullback in a 1 hour. And then start selling. I think they will come back to about this level, maybe 618.50 somewhere there. Put it in a 4 hour. Wait for a sell setup. Right? Wait for it to pull back. There was a 1 hour sell setup here. I don't know if any one of you took it. If you haven't, wait for a pullback, and probably wait for a 4 hour pullback here, and then sell it. Because you're in a B wave, it's going to go up, it's going to go down. Right now, they're going down. Aussie yen upside. I hope you're buying. So you're getting another buy setup here. Short term, this is going to drop somewhat here, and then you can expect the upside. And just like this, they came down, and you can expect more upside here. 4 hour. we're going to probably tag that top, right? I think I told you when this one was going up here. Buy, buy, buy. They pull down, buy. There's another buy set up here. When they break the top, we'll see what happens. But at least you're going to break that top. That's one more possible trade you can get to the upside. New Zealand, Swiss. It's downside. I just don't think it's going very aggressive. It was downside from here, but it's not going very aggressive. And it's really difficult to trade, but it's going to come down here. You can see that, right? So they're going to come here, at least from that point. So you might get another short trade here. Look for it if you like the trade, if you get a good setup, if it's, if it's going smooth enough, you can take it. Right now, I don't see a very good trade setup there. It's a sharp move. I want it to go back up. I want this piece to go back up here and then fall. That would be a better trade. You'll get a very nice trade there if you get that. But it's a sell setup you're looking for. New Zealand yen. We're breaking out, so finally it might be making that up move. We expect a big up move, but there's a warning sign here, and that is this piece here. See this whole piece? They can come back here and then go. That's the warning sign. Not necessarily they'll do it. Yes, some kind of an expanding or running flat, right? So you guys you're catching up, right? Not necessarily that it will do it, but it's possible. Here's the thing, when you see a pattern that this might be coming on, that might not necessarily be the pattern, but if you think that combination of waves that you have could actually make that pattern, you just have to be aware of it. That's it. So if you're aware that they can do that, wait until you get confirmation before you buy. If you want to sell it, wait for confirmation before you sell it. If you sell, they break the low, get the hell out of it because you're going to go back up. If you buy and they break the top, stay with the trade because they're going to continue to go. See? Simple instructions, simple rules. You just have to know where you are at every point in the trade. Once they break to the top here, and if they come and they break all the way back to this top, right? If this one comes and break this top, well, you can stay with that trade for this move. Because very likely you're going to have this move here. See? Now, is it going to do that? I have no idea. As right here, we don't know that as yet. We need this to come back here first. And if this comes here and they turn, well, we know they're coming here. And if they break this structure to the upside, don't do this, and they break to the upside, we know they're going to do that. So you will take it pieces at a time. And when they get there, we know they're coming down. So we know what they're going to do if they get to a certain point and create a certain pattern. But are they going to make that pattern? That's the question. That's always the question. And you can know that when you see the pieces build up. As the pieces are building, you can say, okay, great, that's it. Bingo, it's going. You got it. And then you get in the trade and you stay with it. But there, when it's at the bottom here, is it turning right now? Well, we're in the buy, and I hope it's turning. But I'm aware that there's a possibility for one more downside because of the structural pattern that I see here. Right? Knowing is what you need to do in trading, right? You always need to know what are the possibilities, and that's how you trade, right? That doesn't stop you from trading. Knowing what the chart can do is what will make you money. So we know that this possibility exists. Will it do that? Well, I don't care. If it does it, then you're in the buy, you get out of the buy. You have enough potential profit to get out of there for positive, right? So that's what you do. That's a New Zealand CAD. Turning point, nice turning, right? We expected that turning. Now it's very aggressive, so you don't have a trade right now. But can this thing go up pretty much more? I think it can go. You just need now a 1 hour correction. You need this to prove they're going to go more. If you're not in the trade from here or from here, you need this to correct here and then take the trade. And if it does that, you better be in that trade because it could go very fast. Remember, I said New Zealand is the only trade potentially that the New Zealand dollar could go up very much. I told you that at the start when we were looking at New Zealand dollar. Now we're looking at New Zealand yen potentially could go up. We're looking at New Zealand CAD potentially could go up. So watch the New Zealand. CAD yen. This is a deep pullback, but don't be scared by it. It's just a pullback. I don't think we're changing direction. We're breaking this, but that doesn't mean anything. I always said the trend lines are useless. If you think by breaking trend line, you're selling, right? So if you're in that trade and it comes back deep, I hope you got out. If not, wait. I don't see this potentially going down much more because that could change the structure, but I think they can go back up. You'll have to look for a buy above the top. I do see this going back up. In a 4 hour, I don't see the potential bigger downside, right? We've had pullback. It's not like they haven't broke the top and then pull back. You see this deep pullback? Look at this piece. This is classical what you just have there. See this one? You got a little one, you got a sideways, and then they drop, scare the hell out of everybody, and then they go back up like that. They've got to move, they got a little sideways drop, scare the hell out of everybody, and then do that. Right? Kind of like how it works, right? The market is not scaring you. I'm just kidding. The market is literally looking for orders. The orders are the specific. I know a lot of traders, especially new traders, kind of like inexperienced traders, think that the market is out to get them, right? That your broker is out to get you. Well, he can't do that. That's the problem. Your broker does not trade. Your broker does not move the market. He cannot move the market. What your broker can do is take out stops if it came 3 pips close to your stop. If you have a stop 3 pips the way the price is, your broker could take out that. That's okay. He can do that. He can't move the market. He could create a spike that is a couple pips. Yes, he can do that. But if you find him doing that, you can actually report him, and he's going to have a lot of problem, because if that spike is not real, but just created by the broker, then he's going to be in for really, really big problems with the control, with the controlling organizations. If there is any controlling organizations to your broker, right, then you should make sure that your broker is regulated. If he's not regulated, I say leave him, because then he's going to wipe you out without no consequence, right? So the market does not, it's not like this piece was coming back to get your stop and then go back up. That's how it behaves. And because of the way the market behaves in wave analysis, which means the wave goes up and goes down, it's like if you're trying to, you're a surfer and you think the wave is out there to get you. The wave is not trying to get you when you get on the wave. The wave will behave a certain way. You have to master the art of riding it. Right? That's the whole point of a good surfer. Mastering the art. Not like the wave is there to kill him, right? But if you don't know how to ride the waves, you'll likely get killed in it. Right? It's not like the wave is going to say, oh, there's somebody trying to ride me, let's kill him, right? That's not the point. It's the same thing with trading. The charts are not out to get you or get your stops. It's just that you don't have an idea of how it behaves, and you put your stop exactly where it will be going back to. Take you out and then continue going, right? So if you remember a lot of lessons I've taught you guys, don't be afraid of the chart, because then you have to stop trading. If you're afraid of the chart and how it moves and what it's doing, you better stop trading, because it's like trying to surf and you're afraid of the waves. You're going to get yourself killed. You can't be afraid. You have to understand it, which means you have to study it. Right? And all of that, yeah, you will jump on the board too early, you will fall on a few times, you'll make mistakes. I mean, the greatest surfer has fallen many times, right? We know that. So it's normal. You're going to make mistakes while you trade. Nobody's not saying, but that doesn't make you scared of what the chart is doing. It makes you try to study it more and understand it better. That's what you should be doing. And if you're doing that, you kind of have a very good grip of how things behave in the chart, right? So watch this. Remember when the pound trades were going up and everybody was like going crazy, and I was like, guys, relax. It's going to come down back. It has to come down back. It just has to come down back. That's it. I wasn't jumping around going crazy. I was like, okay, it's going up. Well, it's going to go up some more and then come down right back to where it was. That is what it does, if you understand it. Right? Swiss yen. Remember I told you should be looking for buy this? We told you, right? Watch this pattern here. Sometime very soon, this was your first buy attempt. That was your second buy attempt. This is your third buy attempt. Actually, it had a perfect buy setup at the bottom there. See those lines there? By the way, how many of you, any one of you who's not in my group bought this? If you're not in my group, any one of you in the buy on this? One person, 2, 3? Come on, I do this every week for you guys. And I said, hey, buy this thing. When do you want to get a setup to buy it, right? Because it is going to go, right? I keep telling you it's going to go. Watch it. You got to know how to trade it. Now, they're going to make corrections and go more. I think we'll see corrections there. And we'll see more upside. That's it. Just look for more buy setups. Cat Swiss? Okay, this one broke. This one is just making a deeper correction. Now, if you were in it from anywhere, you will have to go out, because it's just a deeper correction. They're still going to go back up. I don't trade this. I just don't have the patience to trade this. Although I like to be in trade for a long time, I don't have the patience to trade this one. So you're at the top there now. I think you might see a bigger or a deeper correction here now. And then you'll probably see this go back up one more. So probably stay out of it now. Get out of the trades that you haven't, stay out of it, because they're going to make a big, deep correction and then they're going to continue to go. Copper. Stay out of copper. It's consolidating there. I still think they're going to go up, but the consolidation is really useless. A lot of time consuming. Oil. Somebody want oil in more details. So what you're doing right now is you're going up in a consolidation. Right, you're going up in a consolidation. They've done that before here. If you see, you got a sharp wave here, and they started to do this, and then they come back before they go. So you've got a wave. You're doing this. You're eventually going to come back here, maybe even break that structure before you go. Right? I think all of you know that pattern by now. I've shown you like about 10 times already, and I've shown you many of them, and I've shown you them while they are playing out and how they behave. So I think potentially we're expecting to take this off. I'm expecting this to actually come down here potentially. Once they made that, we expect one more up. This to drop. It didn't drop. They go back. They're doing this now, so I can expect them to come here, make one more high, and drop here. Now, the buys are potentially dangerous because if you buy, you might be tagged with something that just go right to the top here. Like if you get a buy set up here, they may tag you at the top there and then drop it like this. When they drop it like that, then you start to look for your buy setups. So a sell setup from the top there would be a good idea, right? So you start looking for a sell setup now, and then when they drop it to the bottom here, then you said, okay, great. We've got a drop now. Let's see for the buy when they go, right? So I still think this is going to come back down here before they go, because it's going to be one of those big running flats we normally see. So I'm expecting it to come back somewhere here, maybe break this slightly, and then start to go back up. Is it going to be this one? Well, we can't be sure about that. That is going to be exactly, yes, like the Euro Aussie did, right? So is it going to be this one, or will this one just do this, come back here, go there, make another one like this, then do that, come here, do that, and then come for the deep move and go back up? That is also possible. See? And then give you that deep correction and then go back up. But if you're buying here, it's dangerous. Wait for it to come here, then buy. If you buy at the top there, it's dangerous. Wait for it to come here, then buy. So when they're at the top, you look for a sell. When they come back to the bottom, you look for a buy. Right? Within that structure until they break down. And when if you're in the sell and they break down, good for you. You got a good trade. Then you look to exit it and buy. I think there is going to be more upside because this is not a reversal pattern, at least as now. It's not showing any sign of reversal. So when they come here, I think we could see more upside, and then we would look to see whether we get a sign of reversal. Right? So this big correction is what we are expecting here now. So if this starts to go more, they may come here. I don't think they're going to come deep. They may just come like this, go there, then give us that big correction, right? So it's going to be a smaller correction, a lower degree correction within the structure. Let's go. UK oil. Similar, very similar structure. This one is also going up very aggressive, right? If you pull this trend line, you're going to see they're going pretty aggressive there. And the same thing. At some point, I think this will come back down here, then go. So let's look at the 4 hour. You're getting a short sell here right now. If you took that sell, I would be careful of that sell here now because, you know, watch it when it comes to this trend line. They can still go back up, but I think this could be the break also. So if you're in that sell, you're doing well. If you're not in the sell, wait for a good setup. That's not the best one. Eventually, you're going to get this big move back down here. Right? You see, they just keep doing this. And eventually, they do that and then go. So you will have to be careful when you're at the top not to buy. Or at least move your stop and get out of the trade. Right? So I am not sure what you guys are, what are all the questions about, because I don't see the chat. Let me see. From YouTube, please... can you please do peso for us? Okay, we'll look at the end of the webinar for those. Isaac, keep them to the end of the webinar. Let's go. Natural gas. When we finish what we normally do then. Natural gas, you're looking for a sell setup. You can already see that. It's probably going to do this, and then you're looking for a sell, one more of this. Right? Kind of like that. And then probably another one up. So look for a sell setup short term this week. S&P 500. You're looking for a sell setup, right? It didn't go high enough, so I think we're going to turn from there and look for this to come back here. I think we're going to see this come here. So we've got something like 1, 2, 3. You're probably going to see them come here. We can see them get to this level and then go back up. We're in a big sideways move. We're in a big corrective structure right now. If this doesn't go very far, which means if this one just drop here and turn back to the upside, they will break the top slightly and then come down. Right? They will still come down. So if you take this trade and it doesn't go very well, which means they get a sudden spike, you get out of the trade. If you don't get the spike, you wait for it to stop and then you look for a sell. This thing will eventually come back here. Now, how many waves they're going to make in that smaller degree waves before they go, we don't know. You don't have to know that. You just have to trade and protect what you have until it confirms that it's coming to here, and then you stay with that trade. Right? It's like a big, if you look at the daily, it's a big sideways move. You can see that, right? You've got this one impulse here, and you're like making 1, 2, 3. I think they can come here. They'll go back up there. They'll probably come here and then go back up. We'll break this low. This whole thing is going to be a big correction and then go back up. They'll probably spend a couple of months, maybe a year or more in there. It's not a downside. It's not confirming downside. It's confirming just a big correction. Not like we haven't had one of that before, right? You see, we had one of that here before. This one was a very simple one. They made 1, 2, 3 and went up, right? They made 1, 2, 3 and went up. This one wasn't complex. I think this one is more complex. It's not just 1, 2, 3. They're getting a bigger B wave in here, and then they're going to go back. So it will be 1, 2, 3, but after we complete the B wave. The B wave will be a more complex pattern. That's it. It's that simple. Do you hear me say anything about news event and when this news is going to happen, or when the feds are going to do this, or this person is going to do that, or that person is going to do this? Well, I didn't. And if you think I'm kidding you, go back and watch when I made that same forecast in this one here. I think you should see it. It's somewhere in the chart, in the monthly probably. That was exactly what I said. And I remember one guy who called himself a very big trader. He was in TradingView then with me then, and he thought he was a super trader. And he was like, you got to be careful with this guy. He's dangerous. He has no idea what he's saying. He doesn't even know what the S&P is. And he's telling you that thing, but it's going to go up, come down, and then go back up. It's not going to do that. We're expecting this thing to fall. The whole economy is going to collapse and all kind of crazy stuff he wrote. And I was like, what is this guy smoking? Like, why is he going so crazy? What is it he's smoking? And, I don't know what you're smoking, but 10 months was my forecast, consolidation and then up. Actually, that chart is on TradingView. You can go find it. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but it should have. Maybe I did it in the weekly. I think I did it in the monthly. I said, look for 10 months consolidation and then up. Right? It's on TradingView. You can go find it. You don't have to believe me in it. You can just go look it up. It's there. That guy was smoking something. He doesn't understand how structure works. And he was like, oh my God, look what somebody is saying. The economy is going to topple. And I'm like, come on, relax. Stop smoking that stuff. It's okay. The world is not collapsing. You're just consolidating. Pretty much what they're doing right now, right here. Right? They're consolidating and then they'll go back up some more. Let's go. That's pretty much the same thing. They're consolidating. This consolidation is going up quite a lot. So watch it. Eventually, it's going to come down, right? I don't think they're going to break out now. They're going to come down again. Look for sell setups. Yeah. So look for that one. DJI, same thing. Nothing new there. This one is almost like perfect, right? You see this sharp move. You see a move up. You see a move down. You see them do this. You see that move there. You can tell they're going to come back here, and then they'll probably go back up like that, and then they'll come down like this, and then they'll go. Now, is it going to be exactly this pattern that I'm showing you? I don't know. They don't have to exactly make this pattern. This is the most common pattern I'm showing you. They don't exactly have to do it just like this. But as it's building, I will see what pattern is making. And as every time they complete a pattern, to make another pattern, and they complete that pattern to make another pattern, and they complete that pattern to make another pattern, and they complete this pattern to make another, we will be ready to trade it up, down, and up again. Because you look at what pattern is completing itself on a lower degree, and then you make that decision whether you want to trade. That's what wave analysis is all about, learning it. I think all of you are looking at it and said, oh yeah, I could see that there's a sell setup coming right now. Break the top and turn. You heard me say that a million times. let it break the top and turn, and you look for that sell setup, because it's going to come break this low and turn. Now, if they make the pattern we were expecting them to make, you might get a little spike in here. See this one here? You might get this one coming down a little rough. It might not come as smooth as you expect it to. And then you start to get that pull up. Let's see how they do, right? But it's a sell setup. I would be looking for the sell if I was trading this. Right? You're in a sideways move, so patterns can change as they go, right? But right now, that is the most possible. That's the most likely pattern we're expecting to develop. Nifty, good. Warning sign. When it comes to the top, it's going to turn to the downside, right? If you're listening to me, watch it, be careful. When they come here, they can turn to the downside, because that one move cannot be all the correction. This cannot be all the correction. This too cannot be all the correction, which means you're going to be in here for a longer time. It's that simple. It's not magic. They're going to be here for a longer while. You know that right now. And they're in a consolidation for more upside. So trade. Somebody wanted what? Not Singaporean. They wanted Mexican pesos. Let me see if I have that one on. I don't think I have it on right now. But let's look at some of these Bitcoins for you guys. Those of you who trade. Bitcoin is doing a little weird here. It's going much deeper than I expect. I thought they'll stop here and go back up. They're going deeper. That does not change the structure. It's just a deeper pullback on that one. So let's look at it in this time frame. Okay. When you look like this now, it doesn't look like it's going deeper anywhere, right? You've got this one, you've got this one, you're making this one here. So I think they're coming here. They will eventually come here, but they just keep drip, 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 drip here. If they drop below this low, that changes the structure. It changes the pattern, not the structure, sorry. It changes the pattern. If they don't drop beyond that, well, the pattern intact, they will come here, and then they'll come back here. Right? This is 1. This is going to be 2. You're going to get 3. This is not going to go back up. So for the guy who sold his house at 19,000 and sold his house and bought Bitcoin at 19,000 to be the next millionaire, sorry, you're no longer becoming a millionaire. At least not now. Maybe much later. Right? Will this thing go back up? Of course. Sometime in the future, but that would be a long time from now. We're in a deep consolidation now, and that means they will be going up and down for a long, long, long time. Short term, very short term, you might get some more drip here in the 1 hour, 4 hour. Look for this trade if you want to make money. All right? So let me go back to where you are on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, they're dropping. Let them drop. Ignore the drop if you want. This could probably drop again. They could drop again. They could drop again. Just ignore that, but focus on this one. Because that is the one that will make you money. Yes, it can also be an expanding flat. That's why I said if they break the low, that will change the pattern, but not the structure. It will still go up, but it will be a different pattern. We will look at that pattern as an expansion. See, you guys are learning, right? You're there already, so watch it. It could come and break the low, but it still will go up. That the upside does not change, just the pattern changes. So XRP. Also drip, drip. They're coming down here too, so this will probably come down. I thought this one was going to go, but they're coming down more. It still does not change this whole bigger structure, right? They can come here, go back, come here, go back, come here, go. They're still going to go up. You're still going to get that sharp one. So every buy opportunity you get, you should take. Right now, you're getting a short sell opportunity. I think you should ignore that. Because they're going to do this, come back up. They'll drop again. They will definitely drop here once more and then look for the upside. Okay? So where you are in the bigger picture, this is where you are in the bigger picture. You've made this move up here. See, they've come here. They've made that move up there. They're coming down here. They'll probably come some more. You can go back there. I think this will go a little higher. You might start to see more structure in here. You might see some more in here. You could probably see them come back here and then go. This is going to be a long, drawn-out sideways move. Long, drawn-out sideways, but then they're going to go back up. So how long will it take? That's anybody's guess. How long they will consolidate. I think you start looking for buy setups. I would be looking for buy setups in this one, right? Ignore the sells. You're getting a short-term sell here now if you want. This is not a very big sell. Ignore this, but look for the buys. Right? Let's go. I think that's about it. I don't want to go through all of them. We can do this one if it's those of you trade this. This one already going up. You can see that. It broke the low and it's going up. And I think there's more upside here. Put it in a 4-hour. There's more upside, right? Same thing here. You got a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3. You're going up. You got this. You get 1, 2, 3. You probably get another correction here. You get more up. More upside is here. It's still in a sideways move, but more up. Let it come down first and then start buying. Right? Okay, Victor is telling me where I have the Mexican one. Victor, let me see. From the bottom. Oh, you mean maybe from these, right? I have Euro Mex. Oh yeah, I got it here. Let me just do it for those of you. Nice buy there going up. Let's see what this is doing. You're supposed to buy the breakout of this, right? I think that was the call. You see the line here to buy the breakout of this one here? You got one, you have two, you're buying that breakout to go retest the top. You want to watch for downside. Right? You want to watch for downside here now. See, watch this thing, it's going to likely go back down. I don't think it's going to be continuation. I'm looking at this as a correction here. So you want to be careful now. If you're going to get continuation to the upside, wait for a flag. This one, this is a long-term trade if you want to buy it. It's going to go back up, but it's coming down. It doesn't change the pattern, right? Even if they come break the low, it's going to go back up. So this would be a good one. If you want to buy into this, you're at a good point of buying. This is more like an investment, right? I could see them coming even tag the low, but look for that one sharp move, and then we'll decide what to do with it from there. Potentially, this has a very big move to the upside. Let me just show you. If you know what we look for, you see this, you see this, you see that, you see this, you see this. It could come here. They will have to go there, and then they could come back here, but then they're eventually going to do this, right? I think we should expect them to do that here, but eventually they're going to do this. They might continue to go a little lower, but then they're going to go back up. They could also go back up here from this point, right? So it's like a long-term investment one if you're looking at it. Now, would this thing collapse? I think no. I don't think it's good. You don't have to put all your resource in it. It's like a long-running flat kind of pattern. There's an impulse coming. Let's put it that way. We're interested in it because we think there's one impulse coming that could give you enough profit to get out and then take profit and then wait to see whether we want to sell it. But there's an impulse coming here, right? So, okay, guys, I think that's about it. We have covered too much things today. We did very well. I want to thank the people on YouTube to come here. I will have to stop the YouTube recording. Remember, if you want to stay for the Q&A after we close YouTube live trading, you probably use the link on my Facebook page. As of next week, the link will be per week because earlier in the webinar, I explained I will be off for 3 months from Dubai. I'm leaving. I'll be in New York and probably Los Angeles and a few more places. So depending on availability of time and depending on internet, I will try my best to do it every week, and I'll give you advance notice. But stay on my Facebook page so you will know when I post it out there, and please help share it, right? When will the next course start? The next course is starting in September. I would be off until September for that, so next course is September. No need to rush. You will get. By the way, somebody paid for the course, right? I don't know if the person's in here. He paid for the course, and his name is different from the name he gave me in the Skype and the other places he sent the name. I can't find you, but your money is in. Just contact me, right? You paid for the course and your money is in, and I can't find you. I really am searching for you all over the place. I can't find you, right? You paid for the September course. We're taking in traders for September course, but these are advanced. These are traders, and they'll just stay in their room and learn by the time the course comes out. You don't have to join so early. There's no need to necessarily, right? You can wait until close to September and then join. So that person who paid, if you're listening to me, your money is in, please come contact me. So, because I'm a little worried I can't find you. Right? Okay, I found one guy 6 months after he paid. Literally, the guy paid and he went off. I think he went off to the army or something. And I was looking for this guy like nonstop. 6 months after, I sent him like 50 messages. And 6 months after, he came back and he said, "Oh, I was somewhere I didn't have internet. I just came back and I saw all your messages. And, I like, okay, I'm here now." I was like, wow. Man, you got me scared. So long you didn't turn up for the course, right? So, okay, guys, I'll see all of you. Have a great weekend still, those of you who have time. Those of you who don't, trade with care. See you next week. Take care, everybody. Thank you. You're a great group. Bye-bye.